I For everyone that is tuning into the stream now or have been chilling with me, I'm going to be talking about overcoming limiting beliefs. And so whether you're watching this on Twitch or if you're watching this on YouTube, I really hope that this message that I have can help you notice the limiting beliefs that you have and figure out ways to overcome them so that you can reach your full potential. And I forgot which book was I reading about this. So I was reading Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi, and in one of the early chapters he talks a lot about overcoming limiting beliefs, and I'm gonna be referencing a lot of things that he said in that book. So these are things that I've been trying to apply to myself, and I hope that you guys can take something from this so that you can also apply it to yourself. Like, first things first, noticing your limiting beliefs, like, and overcoming them. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. It has to be a habit that's like developed over time. And some people have been have grown their whole life, like 25 years or whatever, however old you are, like thinking that they can or can't do something. And for that, like, thinking to go away in like one day or one night or what, even a year, um isn't that just doesn't sound like something that can like be feasible. So like, if you feel like you've been having trouble like with your limiting beliefs, or don't even know like what they are, or if you have any, like, that's okay. It's a process that will take time. And just like, just even knowing that they're there or not will like help you a lot. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is limiting belief phrases. And so what I mean by that is, like, when you listen to your inner voice, sometimes that inner voice is can be your biggest critic. And it could also, I kind of also talk about it as like your inner villain. And sometimes we listen to that inner villain too much, and it tells you that you can't do something when you actually can. One of the quotes that I liked, that I heard, I think this morning, was from a guy that he like graduated for the fourth time. Like, he had 4 degrees or whatever, and he was giving a speech, and he said, if you think you can or can't do something, then you're probably right. So like, if you think that, like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to cook well, and right then and there you're already like putting that limiting belief on yourself. And so it kind of prevents you from reaching your full potential. Like, maybe if your inner villain didn't tell you that, then you could be like a really good cook, or like whatever it is that you want to be. But it's all about like mindset, and like noticing when that like inner villain is talking to you. And so, just like, back to the like limiting belief phrases, these phrases give you, it pretty much gives yourself reasons to limit yourself. For example, once you say something like in your head to yourself, I can't, because that once you say because, you're telling yourself reasons why you can't do something. And all of a sudden, unconsciously, you're going to be looking for reasons why you can't do the thing that you want to do. Another example is like, for example, in school, like let's say that you got a test back and you're doing kind of bad, and you tell yourself, wow, I'm never gonna pass this class. I can't pass this class because I'm dumb, or I can't pass this class because I don't get the material. For the rest of the time that you're taking that class, you're gonna be looking for reasons why you can't pass, and then at the end of the semester, you're like, oh, like I didn't pass the class. But if you can kind of take 2 steps back and like look at yourself and your mindset in a more logical way and unbiased, then you can like control that inner demon that tells you that you can't do what it is that you want to do. Like at the end of the day, if you feel like that, I think like judgment is a really big thing. Like feeling judged by others and judging yourself are like I feel like the two biggest factors that prevent people from like pushing for their dreams, because maybe you don't want to start that company that you've been thinking of, or you don't want to like start your own blog, or you feel like you can't because, oh, I'm not gonna make money, or I don't want to start this blog because I'm gonna be broke, or something like that. Like at the end of the day, everyone around you is thinking the same thing, where they're like worried about themselves. So if you fall into that category, then really just remember that like you set the standards for your life that you want to live. And so if you keep thinking about being judged by others, then like for the rest of your life you're gonna be like, that's like the life you're gonna live. Moving on, I'm gonna talk about the 5 most common limiting beliefs that people say to themselves. And so the five lines that people say are either it's hopeless that, or I'm helpless because, or it's useless to, or I'm blameless because, or I'm worthless because. And each one of those like common things that people say kind of prevents you from reaching your fullest potential. So for example, if you think it's hopeless that, like, it's hopeless, why am I even trying, by just saying that to yourself over like 10-15 years, like you're never even gonna try and push for the thing that you wanted to do. Or if you say I'm helpless or useless, or it's useless to do this, then it is useless because you thought that, it's useless to put content out there 5 times a week. If you think that, then that's true. It's going to be useless. But if you kind of take that limiting belief off of from you and notice that it's there, then maybe putting content out there 5 times a week is going to push you to places that you never thought of before, Another one that like I think a lot of people say and think that it's okay is the I'm blameless, and not taking blame for things that they've done or things that they're doing. Like one example is like, I'm blameless that I can't get a job because I'm white, or I'm blameless that I can't get a job because I'm Asian or something. Like maybe you were like born into that race, but there's like hundreds and thousands of other people that have the same have that same like living conditions as you, and like they're farther off. um i think I think that like some people just need to hear that success and like pushing yourself is, it's not something where you can just sit back and watch it happen. Like from all the podcasts and like interviews and speeches and like just listening to successful people, the commonality between them all is that they made success their duty. They made success their obligation. Like they made it an obsession. And like when you look at really successful people and like really think about what did they do to get there, like no matter what type of success it was, like they were on a mission. And yeah, they might have had limiting beliefs, but one day they said to themselves that I'm going to like stop this inner demon from controlling my life. I'm gonna stop these like limiting beliefs from stopping me and just do me, you know? And so I think just remembering that success is your responsibility and it's not anyone else's, just that alone can give you the energy and motivation to push yourselves to like however far you want to go. And like at the end of the day, just remember that like success, everyone's definition of success is different, and whatever it is, as long as you make sure that you're fulfilled doing it and that you actually feel passionate and happy about what it is that you're doing, then I think that's like the biggest thing. Like I feel like we get caught up on what's gonna make us the most money or things like that, but like maybe it's just like a stepping stone in your grand plan. But at the end of the day, if people got paid for how happy something could make them, like what would you be doing right now, you know? Robert Kiyosaki said something really interesting that I feel like it's something that like I've been doing a lot, which is he says like since he was born, his dad always told him, for example, like let's say he wanted to go to like a concert or whatever for like $200, and it's like he says, I can't afford this ticket. Instead of saying I can't afford and then your mind just shuts off and like you start believing that you can't afford it, instead of saying that to yourself, ask yourself, how can I afford this ticket? That leaves your brain like and mind open to new ideas. And that's like the kind of creativity that I'm thinking about when I talk about questioning your beliefs. Like, how can I afford this ticket? Maybe because he asked himself that question, now he's like able to figure out a way to make enough money somehow to go to this concert. Like maybe he starts selling like, I don't know, random shit on eBay, and now he has enough money to go. Kind of like ideas like that, and just kind of applying them to other things. Give me that play by play. Put it up, don't back down. You can't